Would you wear pants made out of human skin? All right, hear me out. Some of you said yes way too quickly, and I appreciate you, but let me finish. Would you wear pants made of human skin if it meant you had limitless money? You said yes again? Okay. Warning! This video contains instances of cannibalism, human skin suits, paganism, grave digging, all sorts of fun stuff. We're gonna have a real nice time, y'all.
If you found our video on YouTube, check the link in the description below for the Power of Skin playlist. It's like a greatest hit show, the Strangerous Show, featuring videos curated from all across YouTube about the power of skin. If you'd like more info on our programming schedule, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and sign up for our newsletter. It shows up weekly in your inbox, giving you recaps, news, updates, essays, games, all sorts of fun stuff. If you really like the Strangerous channel and want to join the Strangerous Society, check out our Patreon, where you can get exclusive content and access to the Strangerous Discord. And now back to our video on the power of skin. Thanks for watching.
These days, everybody's got a tattoo, but it used to be whenever you saw someone that had a tattoo, that meant they were a criminal, a biker, or whatever this guy's trying to do. And then there are sailors. Now with sailors, tattoos take on a little bit of a different meaning. These tattoos represent their accomplishments, like the anchor. Now the anchor is probably the most cliched tattoo that a seaman can get, stop it. And that meant that they had crossed the Atlantic. Now for every swallow you see on a sailor, stop it, that means that they had traveled 5,000 nautical miles. Now these are all medals, they're badges of honor, it's a resume. But then there's the nautical star. Now the nautical star, whenever a sailor gets this, that means they can always find their way home. And then of course there's hold fast on the knuckles. I thought that would be really cool, but I can't commit to knuckle tattoos. But maybe you've seen somebody sporting the hold fast tattoos. They've probably got really cool hair, an awesome mustache, like some suspenders. They probably smell like cedar, but they've never been on a boat. Hold fast when you get that is meant to keep you from going overboard. That's supposed to give you a good grip on the rigging. And there's crosses on the soles of the feet. That's meant to keep you from being eaten by sharks, which I think we can all agree is just a pretty good thing for everyone to have. I don't go in the ocean very much, but you know, I could probably stand to not get eaten by a shark just in case. Now, some of these tattoos are talismans. You're altering your skin to gain power. It's benign magic for safety. Now, sailor tattoos are raw superstition, right? They're probably brought on by a life at sea and a couple of bouts with scurvy. But in many cultures, the act of getting a tattoo is sacred. There's a lot more that goes into it than having, you know, an inappropriate amount of Jaeger down on 6th Street. And then you go down to the tattoo parlor and you're like, yeah, give me that Batman fighting Flo right here on my neck. Flo from Progressive, you want to get that tattoo with Batman. And then you thought, oh, you know what? It would be really funny. It'd be hilarious if it were the Clooney Batman with the nipples. And then you got to be at work the next day at like 7 a.m. But it's August and you can't wear a turtleneck to work because that would look ridiculous. And so you're going to have to explain to everyone your poor decision making. And then there go your dreams of being a youth pastor. So I recently read about an indigenous people off the coast of Sumatra in Indonesia. They're called the Mentawai people. Now the Mentawai, they treat getting a tattoo as a sacred ritual. Now it's the Sakari's responsibility to enter a meditative state before he gives the tattoos. These tattoos are a rite of passage. They're applied to people throughout their lives to indicate stages of transformation as they get older and thus more powerful or wiser. They mark their skin with these really intricate tattoos called titi. Now they believe that a beautifully tattooed body keeps the soul from wandering. Rosettes on your shoulders ensure that evil will bounce off of your skin like raindrops off of a flower petal. Dog paw tattoos on your legs make you run fast. And that is sympathetic magic. Now, sympathetic magic and animism have been the backbone of shamanistic practices since the dawn of humanity, particularly among tribes of indigenous peoples of the Americas. They respected the animals they hunted and wanted to acquire those traits. Their headdresses would have teeth and fangs and testicles and birth sacs. It's intense, but they wanted to draw the power of those animals into themselves and their fellow tribesmen. Buffalo horns were symbols of strength among the people of the American plains. The Skykomish tribe of the Pacific Northwest would wear headdresses made of mountain goats. In Maine, the Abenaki people would wear an antler rack, like a full buck's rack, so that they could get closer to prey. All right, so question B, let me paint a scenario for you. You are on drugs, like a lot of grade A witch in the woods hallucinogens. Literally, you got them from a witch and you took the drugs, roots, mushrooms, or whatever, and you're at the grocery store. And that's why you took the drugs, because you had to go to the grocery store. It's like 5 p.m., it's rush hour, everybody's there after work, but you have an advantage. Somebody's in front of you and taking too long at the checkout turn. Maybe they've got an expired coupon or they're writing a check, but you're shape strong. And so you are going to go into a berserker rage, right? Do you do that? Do you take the berserker rage magic into you? I'm going to tell you how. Berserkers are my favorite example of sympathetic magic. They would take bear skin and wear it before they would go into battle so that they could take the bear's power unto themselves. They would wade into battle in a drug-fueled frenzy, just massacring whoever got in their way. While dressed in the skin of the bear and little else, they would howl and froth at the mouth and chew on their shields. They were psychos. They were straight up psychos. But these men were in the bear cult because they thought that the bear skins would give them the power of the bear. Berserkers. Bear shirts. Berserkers. Berserkers. That's where the term comes from. But there were also other tribes like the Ulfednar, who would take the power of the wolf by wearing wolf skins. And I suspect that that's where some of our myths for werewolves come from, but I'll be talking more about that later. I gotta do some more reading. And then there's the Joffer. Joffer? I don't know. The boar cult. Big tusks, boar's head. Those are some of the 3 main Odin-worshipping cults in Scandinavia back in the Viking Age, and they were not to be messed with. They were shape strong. Where's that quote? Yeah. Here it is. They were the hardest of men, with a touch of the uncanny about a number of them. They were built and shaped more like trolls than human beings. That's intense. Okay, so you can get the power from animal testicles or bear skins or a turtle or whatever, but can you take another person's power wearing their skin? We're just talking about it. It's hypothetical. Cannibalism in a lot of cultures is about that. It's about taking the power or the memories or the essence or the soul of whoever you're eating. That's a different video. We're not talking about that. We're talking about people who wear human skin to gain power. My favorite movie is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you're familiar with me, you already know this. I talk about it all the time to the point that it gets weird. I know. But it's about Leatherface, right? Now, Leatherface lives in Central Texas. He preys on people, him and his family. They eat them, but Leatherface skins them and he makes masks out of their skin because he wants to transform into something else. If you look at him, he's wearing the skin to look like a pretty lady or an old man or what have you. It's real gross, but it's inspired by a real guy, kind of, loosely. Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield. Now, let's talk about Ed. Ed killed some people. 2. He just killed 2 people. So I'm not saying that that's okay. I'm just putting things in perspective here. He dug up a lot of other people, though. He dug up a lot of people. When they got into his home after he was going to be arrested, they found some artifacts of a real strange hobby. That he was making masks of humans. He was making a dress. He was making his mother. Okay, he was crafting his mother out of skin. I know, he was crafting his mother out of skin, and he told the investigators that it was so he could crawl into the skin suit and become his mother. Now, you'll see this in Silence of the Lambs. It's got some problems with vilifying trans people. I'm aware of that, but that's what it was inspired by. It also inspired Psycho. So just mommy issues all around. In fact, I think it's safe to say that most of these cannibals and skinning folks didn't have real solid relationships with their moms. But Ed and all of the people he inspired would wear these masks so that they could transform into something other than their really terrible, gross selves. I don't know much about Icelandic witchcraft. I've heard a few Björk songs, but that's about as close as I can get. So I did some reading. Strange things are afoot in Iceland, right? They've got a lot of really weird / cool museums, like the Museum of Icelandic Punk Rock that is in a public toilet, not making that up, that's a real thing. There is the Icelandic Phallological Museum, and for those of you who don't know what phallological means, it means wang. Yeah, penis, if you're fancy. They've got all sorts of penis there. Penises? They've got a bunch of them. Whales, bulls, elves. They have elf peni. I want to see it. I have no shame about that. I want to see the elf wiener. But they also have a long tradition of witchcraft in their culture. They have the Strandifer, what is it? Oh yeah, Stradiers. Yeah. They have the Strandigalder. I hope I said that right. That is the Museum of Witchcraft. And in there they have stuff about trolls and the Tilbury, which are milk-sucking demons. They also have a lot of staves. I have to give you a warning because apparently I posted a video about this and somebody called me a bad name in the comments because I didn't give them a warning that I was about to show magical staves. So content warning, magic, I guess. So this magical staff reveals a thief. This one is to hide something. And this one keeps people away. That's my favorite. I haven't tried it yet, but I've got plans. I'm gonna check it out this weekend, see if I can make everybody leave me the hell alone. And then there's this one, the Naubrocherstaffer. This is the key component to the museum's most notorious display, the Nabrock. I made a short about this, but it loosely translates to necropants or corpse breeches, which is awesome. It's a pair of pants crafted from human skin, but they're not just any pants. Oh no, these are magic skin pants, okay? The wearer of these pants would be granted limitless money. It comes from an old Icelandic grimoire. Now, for generations, this dark ritual was handed down from sorcerer to sorcerer. But in the mid-19th century, folklorist Jan Arneson documented the morbid process. It says here, a man who wants to have such breeches must make an agreement with someone still alive that as soon as the latter dies, he can have the use of his skin. As soon as this happens, the survivor goes to the churchyard by night and digs the dead man up. He then flays the skin off from the waist down and slips it off in one piece, for he must take care that there is no hole in the breeches. When the sorcerer puts on the flayed skin, it's stuck to his legs. Gross. But there's one little flap that remains loose. That's the scrotum. So the sorcerer must place the Naubrocherstaffer, that's the staff, the sigil, into the scrotum. And then you have to take a coin stolen from a poor widow and tuck that in there as well. And as long as you never take that coin out, it will multiply. And there will always be money in the coin purse. But the corpse breeches you see here, well, unfortunately, they're not real. Famous stage designer Arne Paul Johansson designed them from descriptions in the old grimoires. In fact, some scholars say that the pants probably never existed outside of the old folktales. So I'm thinking about starting an Etsy shop. I'm just kidding, I can't sell. Let me know in the comments if you'd, wear the pants. If you're in, if you've got a guy, if you've got a skin pants guy, hit me up. Send me a DM or something, I don't know. But I wanna know, maybe just talk to him, see if he's got something in my size. I don't need to know the details. I don't need to know how you got them. You can just leave them on my doorstep. We'll do a change, a dead drop. Or if you can think of some other freaky use for human skin, leave it in the comments below. Keep it clean, weirdos. Sign up for the newsletter on Substack and join the Strangerous Society so you can pick what we research next. It's free, but there is a dress code.